What's up, GP? Try not to yell in the mic. What's up, everybody? Tidbits of Audacity. Granger. There'll be a test on that later. Another episode coming at you. We're about to have some more fun. You ready? You ready? I'm about to have some more fun. I know that.
You ready for this?
You ready for this? Hey. All right.
Yep.
So what's been going on in your world?
Man, Levi got dedicated on Sunday.
It's big.
So that's good. You know, having a kid has actually been amazing. Levi was adopted, so he was supposed to be, an abortion, and then he was supposed to be in the foster system. And then, of course, he landed in our laps. Thankful to, shout out to Emily. Emily gave us a phone call, asked us if me and Jenna were looking to adopt a kid. And so we said, yeah. And, so the whole thing. But, specifically, like, having a kid is great. Because the other day, we were sleeping, and we were all three sleeping. I was sleeping in bed, Jenna was in bed, and Levi's in the bassinet right next to the bed. And I'm laying there, and I'm a stomach sleeper, so I'm usually either stomach sleeper or side sleeper. But at this point, I was on my stomach, and I let one rip, right? And I'm like, I'm good. It was silent. We're good. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go back to sleep. And Jenna just shoots out of bed, and she's like, "What is that? What is that?" And I was like, "I don't know. I think Levi farted. I think maybe Levi check his pants. Maybe he pooped. I don't know. I ain't sure." Like, she was like, "Yeah, I think it was Levi." I was like, "Yep, definitely was Levi." You were
already blaming on it.
I was like, you can blame the dog, but I'm blaming my kid.
It took you no time to start blaming the kid.
I was awesome. Legit like just laying there, and I just let one go, and I was like, "Oh, that felt good." And then she was like, "The Undertaker." She was like, "Boom!" Like. What was that? Like she smell it, and I was like, I think that's Levi. He's gross. Levi gross.
I love it. I always wonder how long it takes. I always wonder how long it takes somebody to start blaming the smells on the kids. Like, how far do you go? Is it like week 2, month 2?
Whenever the
situation
arises.
Once the smell kicks in, game on.
Yeah, exactly. All right. What else we got going on? What you got going on?
College football 26 is out.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought this was interesting. Clemson's Cade Klubnik rated 92 as the top quarterback in the entire game. Garrett Nussmeier at LSU with another 92 as second. Drew Allar, third. Penn State's quarterback. Does he really seem to be that good? Does he seem on par? Because those two guys, you can go 1 and 2. Either way, I give it to you. Clemson quarterback, LSU quarterback. Switch them out, whatever. I don't think Penn State's is anywhere close to them, too.
I haven't seen enough of them to be able to tell, but I know that they love Penn State, Notre Dame, and Florida. Loves those three schools.
Like
Ohio State.
Just to round out the top 5, you got Arizona State, Sam Levitt at 4 at 91, and Lenore Sellers from South Carolina at 91 at 5. Those, again, I have no problem with any of that. Those very good quarterbacks, done a lot of good things. I just feel like the Penn State guys just trying to throw it in there.
He got an uncle at EA or something.
He's good. He's a good quarterback. But I just don't think of him as a top 5 in the country quarterback.
Would you retire his jersey before he goes into the pros and becomes third string for the Browns?
If he was Drew Sanders. Yeah.
Well, because that sounds plausible. How ridiculous is that?
That's just my daily take.
That might be the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Hey, let's retire your jersey. You've done nothing, but let's retire your jersey. And then you get there, and you can't even make third string on the Browns, bro. Browns?
Who was the Steelers quarterback like 20 years ago?
Who? Steelers?
Yeah. Cordell Stewart. Didn't he go to Colorado?
Yeah, you're probably right. It's been a long time.
And he broke records. And his number is not retired.
Oh, yeah.
He's not. His jersey is not retired.
Oh, they've had a couple of good quarterbacks.
That's years. Yeah, and then this guy gets it. He gets his jersey retired.
Daddy,
the whole thing. He has
got a check, man. That whole kid's. Shadour's like entire legacy is Daddy Coulda Checked.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
And I, in a way, Primetime didn't have that. So he's making sure he gets everything he can have.
Sure.
But he overcompensated. We all know that.
Primetime had sort of the same attitude, but he backed it up. He was a great player.
Oh, yeah. He's one of the best ever.
That's what I mean.
At everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, real quick. We're going to do some quick shout-outs. First of all, we got our host again is Stephen O'Brien, Allstate Agency in Gallatin, Tennessee, for all your personal lines with Allstate. That's the host for tonight. We have a producer and a producer-director. Producer-director Kenny G. Kenny G.
Shout out.
Mad props. Thank you, bro. And then producer is Nate. We've talked about him a little bit, but watch this. Watch this. He's going to slide in over here. Look at there. See?
We ain't lying to you.
See? There he is. So he's going to go back over there where he feeds us stuff.
Like food.
He does. He feeds us food. He throws food at us like we're in a zoo.
Shrimp etouffee.
Oh, yeah. Come on, Gumbo. Come on, bring that Gumbo. All right, that's our shout outs. These are the people that make this thing work and happen. And then that's for EA. That's for College Football 26. So
yep, again, it just came out recently. Yeah.
It did just come out. Okay, I was going to ask like it was like a 3-day whatever, but then everybody got it on whatever. I didn't get it. I hadn't updated it yet. And you and I hadn't played the championship game yet either.
I let that one go.
Yeah. Well, there's a member of that group that won't be in the next group, so it don't matter. And you'd kill me anyway. I could just concede.
I haven't played him since we played, so
I haven't
who
either.
knows, right?
I haven't either.
But that's the old game now. The new one's out, so we need to just start a league on the new one.
Well, we can play the game.
I didn't know that was already
Just
out.
to say we won it.
That's early.
Isn't that out?
Well, it will be when this podcast is released.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's true. He's like, I'm trying to feed you a bone.
I am so robotic. What did you say? I have no idea. It is not computing.
Yeah,
we are not sponsored. We are not sponsored yet by Granger's Vodka. But we will be.
We're hoping.
But we will be. Hey, let's get into before we get too far. Any other funny stories? Anything cool, funny happening lately?
I got a few things, but
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, jump in.
I don't know.
Go one more before
He's
we
got
get
a whole
into
list.
Before we get into the beverage.
We built a list.
You have a list?
Yeah, but my iPad gone, man.
Oh. Did you? Okay.
It's on my phone.
Okay. Well, we're good. We don't have to. We can roll. All right. Let's get into the beverages. What you got? What did you bring today?
Adam brought this.
Oh, Adam brought this.
Yes, this is Casey Jones Barrel Cut. Now, barrel cut is a Casey Jones only kind of term. Usually it's barrel proof. That just means that they don't add any water. It's just how it comes out of the gas. It comes out, and usually it's very strong. They call it barrel cut because they do cut it a little bit. So they do add a little bit, but very little. Because usually what happens is when a bourbon's done, it comes out of the barrel. Then they add water, and that levels the proof out, whether they want a 90 proof, 100 proof, whatever. So barrel proof usually means it's barrel proof. It means it's whatever the proof is in the barrel, that's what you get. But Casey Jones does a little bit where they add a tiny little bit, so they cut it a little. They cut it, which is what you're doing with the water. And you see the barrel proof, the proof there is not extremely high. I can't remember what it is. It is 105 proof basically. Yeah, 104.9. It's 105. So that's really low for a barrel proof, barrel cut type of bourbon. But very good bourbon. I've had it before. I enjoy it well. So yeah, let's pop a top.
So
Pop a top,
shout out,
friend.
Yeah, shout out to Hoptown. That is a Hopkinsville, Kentucky bourbon. So it says on the label. Dang, how much you pouring? We ain't gonna drive out of here, bro.
I've met the distiller one time at a little thing. Cool guy. Like, he even made a joke. He goes, I can get the distiller to sign it. I'm like, sure. And he grabs a marker and starts signing it. I'm like, you got me. That was good. So, the first, not this one, but it was the first one I bought. So, but yeah, young guy, good stuff. Like I said, very good bourbon. I was just trying to find something that's not on the hot market, right? Not one of the Buffalo Trace famous ones or anything like that. But something
You did like a bourbon trail, right?
Well, not technically. Like, there is a trail you can do. You do the bourbon trail, and like, go to this one, then this one, then this one. We've hit them all just in our own order. So yes, I've done the trail. It's kind of like the Tiger Slam. We got it. We got it in our own way.
Gotcha.
Own order.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, I've hit all the distilleries. I think if you want to learn the most, go to Buffalo Trace. If you want to drink the most, go to Woodford or Heavenly. Those two will really hook you up. But yeah, I suggest hitting them all.
That's cool.
Quick unprofessional tip on bourbon.
Unprofessional. That's my favorite.
We have a pro tip. So this is an unpro tip. Take a second sip. The first sip hits you like your body's reacting. What is it? Reacting to like it's a poison.
Yeah, like a turpentine or something. It thinks, oh gosh, get this out.
So it's like it hits you and it's not good, and your body's trying to like reject it. So then you take the second hit. Now it's like, okay, we're good. I'm used to it now. Second hit, like it's a bong.
I never really get used to it. So.
That's why they say chew it. You swish it around a little bit. Chew it.
The second one tastes better.
That's to get your palate used to the idea that, oh no, wait, this is really good. The sharp harshness right there up front is what shocks it.
Right.
But then when you chew it up and they're gonna let it swish around a little bit, then your body's like, oh wait, this is good stuff. I'm good. Let's go. Give me more. So.
Give me more. Give me more. Give me more.
Now, Kenny, make sure you're zooming in on Jason when he drinks.
I mean, I gotta like get up the guts to do this stuff. This is just, come on.
For real?
You got this. Come on. Now, that stuff you had, that Forbidden, I told you.
Good.
About the place in Gallatin.
Yeah. That's cool. I didn't know that.
On the shelf. He didn't know it either. And he's a bourbon guy, and he's from like Bardstown, Kentucky. He's like a bourbon dude.
Yeah.
Actually, he works for a bourbon distillery somewhere in Nashville. There's a bourbon place in Nashville.
Yes, very good place.
He works there. It's a buddy of mine. All right, here we go.
What is the name of that place? Because I went a few weeks ago for a. There you go. He's chewing it.
He's like, tastes like Fruit Loops. If I tell myself that.
Oh yeah, it was cotton candy.
Sweet as gold.
I chewed it just like you told me to.
Yeah, the Nashville Barrel Company Distillery and Whiskey. That's a great place to go to do some sipping.
Now do a second one.
now this is supposed to be not as bad.
Y'all gotta
this is like drinking kerosene, bro. Come
y'all
on,
gotta understand. This is part of the reason we bring bourbon. It's not for us to drink, to watch Jason.
Yeah, that's good stuff though.
I mean, all right, here we go.
I like it a lot.
We got this.
Casey Jones.
It's almost like
I need my beer. That's what I need. Is that water?
It's almost like caramel.
Yes, but you need to drink it. Don't mess the water up. Yeah, go ahead and take that second sip.
Right after?
Yeah. The water will reset your palate. You don't want to do that.
That's true. Yeah.
Then you go through the whole.
All right, here we go. We got this. You got this. I gotta talk myself into that. That's pretty bad. Like jumping in the pool doing the Uncle Jason. That still bites you. It ain't like that one. Now, the one you brother Forbidden, it was like landing a plane.
Yeah,
that's what it felt like. And then, this was like. It did the opposite. The plane was taking off.
This was a combat landing.
It started on the ground and went, wah! Oh my god. Okay. Sure. I'll get into mine in a minute, I guess. Well, no, I should probably do that relatively quickly. So, all right, let me see if I can get this on camera.
now, granted, this is 105 proof. Mm-hmm. And
tastes like it.
Forbidden's 95 proof, so it's they add more water, cut it a little bit more. So
okay. All right.
Like
so I got to shout out to things in the past. This is Big Trouble. If you can see it on the shirt there, Big Trouble Brewery, Big Trouble Brewery, and Big Trouble Brewery. Buddy of mine owned it, named Josiah. He had it for a couple years. Really cool little vibey place. It was built around the 80s. The theme is the 80s. Everything was like 80s themed in there. It's pretty cool place. Made some good beer. He has like 4 jobs, so it kind of eventually caught up with him. He's like, yeah, I need to focus on the ones that make me the actual money. or the most money, I guess. And so that's what he did. And along with things going by in the past, here's a beer they don't make anymore.
Oh, you sharing it with us?
Yep.
Dang, what's special?
It's a beer they don't make anymore. The beer is from the brewery shut down. It was called Mayday Brewery in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And the guy sold shop. He was killing it and just sold shop. And nobody could figure out why. Now the guy that owned it is a very eccentric, very different kind of person. Just real unpredictable, real whatever. Anyway, but he made great beer. And everybody that had his beer loved it. And he was obviously distributing a few of them. He distributed about 3 or 4 of them in cans. And then it was obviously at his breweries a bunch of stuff you couldn't get anywhere else. And anyway, it was amazing. And he just shut down shop. So this one is probably one of the most popular beer he made, which was just a blonde ale. But he used local honey to put into this. And so we're talking about like Murfreesboro, Shelbyville honey from what I understand. Now, I could be wrong about that, but I understand that. So anyway, I still have a few cans. He still has some cans out that he had kind of distributed, so there's some still out there. It was a few of his beers. And not many, like 2 or 3. But this one was amazing. From Mayday Brewery. No more. Living the dream. I don't know what he's doing with his sale, but
That's good.
Yeah, not bad for a beer.
you can definitely taste the honey. It's one of the first things that hits me when I drink that. It's the honey. Ain't nothing like this
I like a good honey
oil
wine.
slick over here.
Oil slick.
It's like sweet tea, man.
Sweet tea, nothing. Ain't nothing sweet about that. It's punching you in the jaws.
I feel like I taste caramel. What's in this thing?
Caramel.
It has all this right there.
No, it's molasses with chocolate. Thank you very much. Look, molasses with chocolate, palette of vanilla, cinnamon, and cacao. How you say it? Cacao? Cacao!
That's exactly what I was saying.
Cacao nibs.
Cacao.
But I thought it was caramel, but I guess it's the molasses. I don't know if it's molasses with
molasses.
chocolate.
I know, Huckleberry. Oh my God. It just hit me like a tidal wave. All right, we're good. All right, so we get through this. Who knows what we're talking about? You're like, wait, I don't know. We don't know what we're talking about. We're just hanging out and having fun. That's all we're doing. All right.
Talking about Tombstone.
Sure. Greatest movie of all time.
Yep.
So, I gotta move. So, here's a question. Do you have us another 90s update? If not, that's okay.
I don't this week.
Okay. All right.
I don't.
I just wondered.
I've been slacking on that one. I do have something else.
Go ahead.
That's not 90s related, but it's recently.
All right. Fire.
Leah Thomas is going to have all his medals stripped. He's the male swimmer. Actually, it's Will Thomas. But he goes by Leah because he wants to take girls' medals away from them. He swam for the University of Penn.
Beat Riley Gaines in a...
Yeah, and I feel kind of bad because Leah...
Time out. Didn't beat Riley.
Correct. They finished tied for 5th.
Yes.
They tied.
And people love to mess with Riley Gaines. Riley Gaines, it wasn't about her getting stripped necessarily. I mean, he beat other girls. He did win other races where girls would have come in first, but he won. But, I mean, to be fair, he did work his balls off to get there.
Sure did.
He did.
Sure did.
So, you know...
Well, now that I think about it, maybe
he still has his balls, actually.
Maybe he didn't. Yeah, they might still be there. He might only halfway worked his balls off.
There was a headline from the Babylon Bee. I have to quote. It was dangerously funny. I gotta pull it up here, which is kind of accurate too. This is the Babylon Bee. I do not take credit for this. And their headline is disqualified Leah Thomas asks if he can still just hang out naked in the Olympic women's locker room.
That's great. Of course.
Is there like a streamline for this? Can
I
anybody
just-
do this?
Can we sign up for this?
Do we get a ticket? Like, what's going on?
Is there a sign up sheet? Is there a Google form? What are we doing?
I said I got a bacon. What do we got to do for that?
How can I get in this?
In all seriousness, I don't hit a lot of stuff. You know, I consider myself libertarian, live and let live. Do you do you? But that's not a you do you thing. I'm very staunchly opposed to men taking over women's sports. Women's sports should not be a safe haven for failed men's athletes. So I'm glad to see it happen. Personally,
it'd be different if it was only ideological. Like, it'd be different if the only reason was for feelings or whatever. There are proven biological advantages. That's the problem I have. Because sometimes you can kind of go, but there's, like, oh, how do you feel? Who cares how you feel? Like, but there's proven biological advantages over and over and over again that males have an advantage over females. It's the primary reason, actually, that they don't belong in those shared spaces. Now, I'm not even talking about locker rooms. I'm just talking about competitiveness right now. And then on top of that, yeah, they don't believe in locker rooms. But look, like, for instance, I officiate basketball, right? There's girls that officiate men's basketball sometimes. In fact, I recently did some tournaments with girl referees. And they get their own space when it comes to the locker room time. They get their own space, guys get their own space, and then we come together and talk about the game and go out on the floor. But that's because we can both just referee. Like, we don't need physical advantages to referee. It's cognitive. But when you're competing physically, there's a biological advantage. And at that point, you have to have shared spaces. We can, feel all we want to. But speaking of...
Well, here's the statistic to what we're talking about. The current women's world record, held by Marita Koch, with a time of 46.60 seconds in the 400 meter. That's the world record, 47.60 seconds. World record. The 14-year-old boys record is 46.96. That's 14-year-old boy. That's faster than the women's world record. So the fastest woman in the world is still not as fast as the 14-year-old boy. Now, this is apple and apple. Can she outrun us? No question. Is she a greater athlete than us? No question. But that's an apple and a watermelon. This is an apple and an apple.
Speaking of, did you see where I think it was the Swiss ladies soccer team?
Yes, that was just recently.
Was it a 14-year-old or under 15? Is that what it was?
It was.
Send that over, Nate. I think it was under 15.
He's halfway through that beer right now.
Yeah. He's like,
wait a minute, I gotta put this down.
U15.
What are you doing?
U15, which means most of them are under 15. If we want to split hairs, some of them might be 15 by now because of a cutoff date. But at the oldest, they're 15. And they lost 7-1.
7-1, yeah. 7-1.
Now beat
the national team.
Now these are top quality boys team. This is not just some 15-year-old that they just picked up off the, hey, can you play soccer for a minute? Sure. These are good quality players.
Yeah, but they found the best women.
This is the best of the best.
Now it was Swiss.
They're good,
but it was a Swiss boys team. Yeah.
Aren't the girls?
Yes.
Girls Swiss team is good. They're top 5, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean,
it
seems
good.
like.
What's her name? Like popular from that group, that team. They got a popular member on the team. It's like a Mia Hamm of their team. They got like somebody that's on their team like that.
But yeah, they're 23rd ranked in the world.
That's old.
They're down. They used to be better. But to your point, these are the best of all the women in Switzerland, and they lost 7-1. Now I haven't seen breakdowns, but a lot of times when you have a game that's 7-1, probably could have been worse. At some point, you peel back, right? We've all played sports. At some point, you're just drilling somebody. You don't go 100 miles per hour when you're up 7-1 in soccer. Or that's equivalent of being like up 100 to 25, and even worse, really, in basketball. You're not going full bore, right? You're playing with guys. Guys are not playing who don't usually get to play. You're changing things so there's good chances these boys took it easy towards the back end and still went 7-1. So I'm not, and women need to have their space, and that's my point. Women need to have their space. I want women to be able to succeed and to thrive. Let's just not pretend that men playing in their sports as women doesn't take away from those women.
At what point do people that are so for the trans in women's sports, at what point does it become anti-women? At what point in their brains does it become? They're just but their philosophy in general, like you dealt with, you're a man, so you're innately wrong, if you will. Like you're not going to be able to I can't tell you what to do, or you can't tell me what to do because you're a man and you're And that's so on some level it can be rightfully so. There are lots of women that have been abused by men, that have been taken advantage of men. They've been whatever, and I've always said taking away guns is taking away women's rights.
Absolutely.
Because that's another thing. Women need to be able to protect themselves. So if you take away guns, then once again, in my brain, you're anti-women again. Because they do need to protect themselves. A woman cannot protect themselves from a man for the very things you're saying right now, unless they have something else that helps them do it. And that's a gun, a weapon, or any kind of weapon. But at what point in your brain, as somebody who's for this, do you say, okay, we are now anti-woman? Like there has to be a threshold somewhere in there when they say, okay, well, just let all trans in women's sports, then it wouldn't be women's sports anymore. Then it basically would be its own league, if you will. Then you have to create women's sports again. Then what? Like, does the pattern keep going? Like, when do we say, okay, women,
we really don't care about you?
I know, but no.
Well,
yes,
like
yes.
To my brain goes, we don't really care about you. We care about ideas. We don't care about people. We care about ideologies.
Yeah.
You don't matter. My ideology matters.
And that's what it boils down to. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's yeah. So, I think we're heading in the right direction. The fact that they're requiring this dude to apologize, or the schools, I can't remember if the schools apologizing or they're making him apologize. I don't think they're making him. I think they're actually, I take that back. I know what they're doing. They're actually issuing an apology as a whole. As the University of Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow.
For allowing it to happen, to allow him to being in locker rooms. Because Riley Gaines' biggest issue wasn't even necessarily the medals, wasn't necessarily losing or tying or anything like that. When they did tie, they asked that she would step down and allow Leah to take the place that they were both supposed to. And that's when she realized this is an ideological thing.
It was about PR at that
That's
moment.
it. And so that's when she started realizing this is more than just letting a guy play because, this was a promotion thing. Yeah, ideology was sticking.
This was look at how moral I am.
Her biggest issue, and rightfully so, was the fact that there was a man in the locker room, and they said you have to be okay with it.
Well, of course. And here's the thing.
That's what it boils down.
How many stories came out after that that were just like it? And everybody's coming out of the woodworks, and Riley's going, "Uh-oh,
yeah,
I'm fixing to interview every one of them."
So to her credit, she's highlighted it. She's brought it to light. She's pushed for safety for women, and so and is winning.
To her credit, she's a very good spokesperson for it.
Yes.
There's some people get involved in that and they got no business talking to people. And yeah, she's pretty, but it's not about her being pretty. She can actually handle her own in a conversation. Like she's been on Piers Morgan and went toe to toe with people.
Yes.
Like, let's go. Like she can handle her own. And so that's the part I think is probably equally as impressive. By the way, she is a Gallatin girl, and we are sitting in Gallatin, Tennessee right now. So let's just go there. She swam over at Station Camp High School. Station Camp High School, just right down the road. Anyway, yeah, that's all. Like, it's just that's amazing stuff. And so, I don't mind talking a little bit about what you were bringing up, Jonathan, because I've already I wrote an entire article based on the concept, and it won't come out for probably a week or two, but I posted about it on social media, and it's not It just, and there's not. I don't have to get too far into it to get to the crux of what we're talking about, which is I'm in a class. It's a group class. I don't have to do much. Like my online schooling is just me getting to my classwork when I can, and I write papers and I take quizzes, and that's it. That's about it. But there were two different classes for my master's program that they make me get on Teams and go face to face with a group of people. And this was one of them. And basically in this one, I was to facilitate group therapy. Okay. And we got done and they said, okay, give him feedback. And I was one of like 3 dudes in there and of a group of 20. And basically the guys didn't say a thing. And the girls chimed in and were like, so you're a man and that's not very good for counseling, so just be aware of that. That was one. And then another one chimes in and goes, you were very intimidating just being there, just like you're just real intimidating. I kind of got triggered. I was like, okay. Mind you, the professor never says a word through all of this. She just lets that sucker ride, which that's the part I had a problem with. I didn't have a problem with them being whatever they are. I had a problem with the fact that you're supposed to be a leader and you're just going to let that ride and not even at least address it. So I had to kind of stand up for myself, which I did. And I said, hey, can you tell me something like behaviorally that I could do better? It's not so much about your behavior. It's just you being a man. That's what one of them said. I'm sitting there just going, okay, so there's nothing I can do. It's just the mere fact that I have XY chromosomes that I'm in trouble. I'm in the doghouse. And that got my attention. I was like, wait a minute. And then you had one person that said that she got, on the backside of this, one other person's talking in a group, and she's talking about how she has 4 children that all have ADHD and autism. The likelihood of that, by the way, is 0.79% chance that's likelihood. I did the numbers. That's the likelihood that that's the truth. Okay, and everybody celebrated. Oh, yay! You got 4 kids with ADHD and autism. Yay! Like, that was exciting and celebratory. And I'm going, wait, what? Why are we celebrating this? That's hard. 1 would be hard. 4? We need to stop what we're doing and pray for this woman right now.
Did they say why they were celebrating? Like, yay, we're so happy for you because you'll struggle? I mean, I'm being sarcastic, obviously. But
I think if they had to, they wouldn't have. I think that it's so much more. So what I'm getting to with that part is, and with this, it's not about the substance. It's about the validation and affirmation. It's not about what is. It's about how we can signal to everybody that we're good, moral people, and make sure everybody sees us. And
the oppressed, not the oppressor.
Come on. If we're dividing it into binary thinking like that anyway, we've met Karl Marx halfway. Yeah. But it was just like, yay, oh my God, that's so awesome. You have 4 kids have ADHD and autism. That's literally what they were saying. Literally. A couple people had their fist in the air going like this, like it was exciting. Why is that exciting? That blew my mind that they were celebrating that. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And then of course you got somebody that said, everybody has trauma, so everybody needs therapy. Like, that ain't even remotely close to being true. Not even close. And so anyway, all that to say that I knew when I got into this racket that I was walking into an uphill. I knew that I was walking into an uphill climb. I knew I wasn't welcomed. I knew that nobody's gonna be okay with me. Everybody's gonna resist me. I knew that. I knew walking in. And guess what? Y'all know any Grangers that back down from a fight?
Yeah.
Because I sure ain't.
Yeah.
I'm in it. And now, here's what's interesting. When I posted this on Facebook, the only actual fully licensed therapists, and there were 3 that got in on that post, the only actual fully licensed therapists, all three of them said the same thing. We need more men in counseling. Please don't give up. So that tells me that the ones that are actually in it, mind you, I'm in a class with future counselors, not fully licensed. The ones that are fully licensed that are actually doing it are actually going, whoa, whatever you do, don't quit, because we need more dudes.
Yeah, good.
We've got to have more. They're seeing the need because they're in it. They're on the front lines. They're actually in the offices watching people come in. And some of them even said, there ladies come in here preferring a male counselor for one reason or another. Sometimes it's a fatherly figure thing. Sometimes it's just various reasons. And I get the one of y'all brought up earlier about, I think it was you, about you do have ladies that have been abused at the hands of a man, and so that creates a thing that's already there. It's like you start from a premise of, for some people it's like, okay, I don't know if I want to trust a man because the last man I trusted raped me or whatever. Right. I don't mean to get that dark, but you know what I mean.
That's real, but it's real though.
And it's like, and so as a man, especially as a man and a counselor, and you're dealing with these dark, sensitive subjects, you have to have an approach that's got some gentleness about it and some understanding and some empathy about it. I get that, and I fully plan on being that guy. But when I'm sitting across from a dude that looks like you, probably not going the same route. I'm probably going to be a little bit more direct, a little more challenging, a little more, what you doing, bro?
Yeah.
Where I'm not going to do that with somebody who needs a more gentle approach. You tailor your approach to the person that's sitting across from you. And anyway, sorry, I kind of went on a run with that one. But that's so just for the watcher, listener person, all 3 of y'all not named Granger that are watching this, that's what we were referring to. So that was my experience this week in learning to be a counselor. It's a racket, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, like you said, I get it. I've had, I've been walking through Target, and a lady pulls her kid closer as I walk by. Or a lady pulls her purse closer and looks at me as I walk by, and I'm like, I'm just walking, I'm just going somewhere. Like, I ain't worried about you. But at the same time, like, you're a counselor, you're a licensed counselor. This is, I know there are things, but I mean, at some point, it's like, okay, you only have to have a female cop come arrest you, and a female lawyer that tries you, and a female judge that deals with you. Like, at some point, you got to deal with a man, and you just got to be okay with it. Like, they're going to tell you how, and I don't know, it just.
Well,
like, you gonna have a female firefighter come help you, or a female EMT?
I mean, in this field, you can kind of select. It's kind of like doctors. You try the doctor until you got the one you like, and then that's your doctor. This is similar. You can kind of bounce around until you find the one you like. But to suggest in counselor training to tell me that because I'm a man, I'm probably not going to be very good. I had a professor tell me that until I act a little bit more like a woman, I probably won't be an effective counselor. A professor.
Which is fascinating to me because we need female perspectives, right? We need 100%. Feminine women's perspectives, but we also need very masculine men's perspectives. Like, we need both.
100%.
And there's times where you need a female counselor to bring a female perspective, but then there's times I think you need a male counselor, which is probably why they're begging you to come, because not just male, because a male being feminine doesn't help. You need a masculine male. By the way, there's no such thing as toxic masculinity. We can talk about that next time.
Don't exist.
But we need masculine perspectives just as much as feminine, right? And so I'll get going on my soapbox again if we try to rub out anything masculine, because then we're deficient as a society.
I got a problem with professors anyway.
yeah, I'm aware.
Especially like I think I may have said before, but like I had a professor that was. She went to school, and then she said she'd been being a professor for like 20, 30 years or whatever. And I'm like, you're like 45 years old. So you've never left school? Don't tell me what to do. Don't even pretend like you know anything that happens outside of a school if you've never been there. Like, don't tell me. I hate that kind of stuff.
Because there's always theory. There's no.
It's all theory. It's all textbook. It's all theory. It's all, we don't know actually what happens, but I can tell you what would happen in this textbook that told me.
Yeah, there's no.
But I've never seen it. I've just taught it. Okay, great. I don't care about it. You mean nothing to me. The best teacher I've had was a guy who was in the Army and went on to be a coach. He coaches something, but he does this. He does it, and then he teaches it. And I'm like, great. And he had a lot of good things to say. I was like, that was one of the best teachers I've had. But people that just go and want to be a teacher. I mean, if that's all you've done. Like, I don't know.
It's funny you said that. My wife talked about that with teachers at the high school, and that they got out of high school, went to college, got a college degree, went to high school, and became a high school teacher, and been a high school teacher 20 years. They've never lived outside of a school. And she didn't think about that until she was interacting with some of them. They were like, wow, it hits me. You've never had life outside of school. Ever. And it creates a different perspective. And
that goes for lots of things. That goes for church. You got leaders in church that have never actually gone out and done things. They're people like their calling is other Christians to help build Christians. So they never actually talked to people who aren't Christians and figured out what they actually think and gone deep into what they believe. So it's like when you have a conversation with them about something deep, you're like, you realize they don't know you're like, you've never been there. Like, your world is Christians, like other Christians, and enabling them and helping them out. Which is great. That's needed. But
a Holy Country Club facilitator.
Yeah, like, and then I started realizing, there's some people they don't know, even though they've been in it for however long, they don't realize some of the arguments that are being made that unless they're answered, atheists aren't going to become Christians. Certain atheists.
Which reminds me of the sort of Socratic angle on that, which is, the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know.
Right.
And so I've always been blown away by people that can only see life through one lens like that. Like, well, this is what you do because this is just what you do. Well, okay, but they didn't do that, and now they found themselves here. What are we going to do about that? And it's like, you know, the more you learn, what happens is the more your scope broadens, right? And you see what all's out there, and then you realize you don't know anything, comparatively speaking. That's literally that was Socrates' whole premise. Everything he did was based around that premise. That the more you learn, the more you realize is out there, and the more you realize you don't know. But he would say it antagonistically. He'd say things like, "I'm the wisest one among all y'all because I know nothing," and then they go, "What did you just say?" Like, it sounded ridiculous to them because he was one of the first people who had the first person ever say anything like that. Anyway, so you know that goes along with that. If you're in one thing, you haven't really learned, and when you do learn, you realize what you don't know. It's like everything your entire purview just opens up. Adam, you look like you're about to say something.
Nope. I'm enjoying this.
Honey beer or bourbon or both?
Oh, the bourbon.
Of course. I really thought you were about to say something. You had a position.
Actually.
You had a.
I'm in my counselor pose.
Is that what that is? Because I do that. Sorry, I do.
No, I really did.
I do. Here's the thing. That's another thing. They teach you to be like, you're supposed to like.
Yeah, didn't you get a comment about your positioning was bad?
Oh, somebody just said the way you sat made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
The way you sat. By the way, I'll show you exactly what I was sitting like that made her feel uncomfortable. But before I do that, they teach you that when you're actually counseling, this is one-on-one, not group therapy, but in one-on-one, they want you, when you ask the question to somebody, they want you to lean in every time.
Intimidating.
100% of the time they want you to lean in. And the point is I'm engaging you, I'm listening to you, you're heard, you're seen. That's the point. The point is that you're engaging. And I get it, but I don't think best like this.
Is there research on that? No, because people have told me if you do this, then that means they're not listening to you.
You're
they don't
closed
care.
off.
But I've literally never thought that. And anytime I'm talking to somebody, they're like this, we're just hanging out. Then I think, so I'm like, I don't know how much I
think males and females do this differently. Yeah. To be honest with you, I think males don't do it that way, but females do.
Yeah.
So I think when females close their arm, they really are closing off. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not sure I'm buying a thing you're saying.
Gotcha. I
think when males do it, they're just comfortable.
Yeah.
Not always, but I think more so. There is some research on things like, so there's research on angles. So, like, for instance, the angle that me and Adam are at right now, where he's facing this way and I'm facing this way, that is the most of the angles that men are going to communicate at. Men don't communicate this way. We're parallel. Our chests are parallel. Mm-hmm. Men don't communicate parallel. Men communicate at an angle. And they actually would go to parties. And these researchers were going to like parties or like places where people are standing up and talking and socializing, right? Like social events. And they would just watch every interaction. And particularly same-sex interaction. So when two dudes are talking, two women are talking. And it was overwhelming. The women were talking face-to-face, chest parallel, and the men were talking at an opened angle, which was sometimes sometimes of a 90 degree. They would measure the angles, and that's a little much, but they did it.
I can see like leaning up against the counter, both of us, like just looking out talking.
Yeah,
I totally do that. Yeah.
I mean, if we were just going to walk up and start talking about something, we would immediately open up to the room.
Right. Yep.
But talk.
Yeah,
we wouldn't talk like this.
I do that all the time. Like that's all. Yeah.
So they found that was obviously gender related. I mean, this is a clear male versus female communication style. And just more indication that we don't communicate the same. We just don't even think the same. And part of when you said a minute ago about how we needed women's perspectives because we have to have it. One of the things that indicates is I've talked about I don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast yet, but I know I've talked about it ad nauseum about how different our brains are in that. Men's brains are in boxes, so we're in compartments. We compartmentalize things, right? And so we have a box for home, box for work, box for wife, box for sports. We kind of go through we have each little segment, and we're in those segments when we need to be in those segments. Whereas, here, I'll just cover that real quick because this is interesting. I got it from I can't remember if he's a psychiatrist or a pastor, but I think he might be both. Did this, it was a YouTube clip. Anyway, this is where I got this from. But that's how our brains work. All right. So we're sitting in our sports box, and wife walks up and goes, "Hey, did you get that prescription on the way home like I asked you to?" And our brains get fried for just a split second. It's like it happens to our brains, and we gotta go, wait, hang on. We gotta get out of the sports box, close it, carefully walk over to the wife box, get into it, and then go, okay, what'd you say? And now we can comprehend whatever it is that she's saying. We couldn't comprehend it before. And she says, did you get the prescription on your way home? And you go, oh, yeah, I did. I just left it in the car. Let me go get it. Okay? Now, the other part of that is we have a nothing box. Men have a nothing box. We have a box we can get into and think of absolutely nothing. That blows women's mind. Now, that didn't shake either one of y'all. Mm-hmm. But when I say that in the presence of a female, she just starts laughing and just goes, my gosh, can I get one of those? They don't wrap their head around that. Mm-hmm. The reason that they can't wrap their head around a nothing box that we clearly all have is because they have one big box and everything's in it in a ball of spaghetti. Yep. And everything's connected to everything. Yep. Everything's connected to everything. So 11 a.m., they get their feelings hurt by somebody at a restaurant. They go through their day, 6 p.m. standing there, they're doing dishes. Husband walks up and goes, hey, you okay? Yeah, why? Well, like that, you just kind of snapped at me a little bit and you seem like a little upset. Well, I am a little upset. Well, why? I don't know. What do you mean I don't know? Well, I don't know. Why do I have to know? I'm just upset. What do you mean, why do you have to know? You should know why you're upset if you're upset. What are you talking about right now? And it's because something at 11 a.m. is still connected to 6 p.m., even though it's not, the events aren't related, but the emotion is on a string because everything's connected to everything, right? That, by the way, the scientific explanation for that is our hemispheres are different in our brains. So women's hemispheres in their brains are closer together, and they fire between the hemispheres a lot. There's a lot of firing going on. Men's hemispheres in our brains are separated, and there's not a lot of firing between the hemispheres. They don't communicate a whole lot. So that's the scientific explanation behind what I just explained. But back to what Adam was saying, it made me think of it was that everything being connected to everything. That's what gets the attention of possible things like possible danger, possible direction, the hunches, the intuitions, the feelings, all that stuff is what brings it about. And then the sort of practicality of a man's brain goes, okay, then let me go investigate that. And then he goes to the danger. And that's literally how our brains work biologically. Like DNA, that's how we're supposed to be working. If you don't have both parts, you're missing something in whatever interaction you're going towards, whether it's danger, whether it's any kind of decision making. Decision making involves a hunch and an investigation. It's just what it is, and you need both. We try to make a decision solely based on facts, and it's not usually enough. It's good, but it's not enough. So anyway, that was just a little brain work for males and females, and just how different we communicate and how different we are, and how that plays out in like everyday life. And you know what plays out in marriages? I was just saying, your post on Facebook the other day, talking about communication, and I said I watched it end a marriage not too long ago. She was throwing hints, and he wasn't catching hints, and she went, you know what? I've had enough. And he was like, had enough of what? Like, they just didn't communicate because if you remember, I think it was the first podcast we did. My tip was, he doesn't just know.
Right.
He doesn't just know. Well, he should just know. He doesn't. Like, I hate that. I'm sorry, but that's the facts. Now that you have the facts, let's figure out how we can communicate with each other. Granted, he needs to also work on picking up those hints and signals. And he needs to work on that. Well, you got now. I know you got something. Go ahead.
I saw it even further as we have to understand how the other communicates, but we also have to be able to communicate to the person the way they want to be communicated to.
Right.
We make mistakes that we believe, and I'm no expert, but I've been married for 24 years, stayed this long. You got to learn. We want to communicate and treat people the way we want to be treated, and that's not necessarily best. We needed to communicate and treat people the way they want to be treated, because the way I receive communication and the way what I want doesn't necessarily look like what my wife wants and how she wants to be talked to or explained to or communicated to. So I, through my relationship, have to figure out what's the best way that she can receive what I'm saying. What's the best things that I can do for her that she wants, and then do that. And it may, and most likely will not look like what I would want. And so I think we get caught up in this trap of, I want to treat them the way I want to be treated. No, treat them the way they want to be treated.
It's like love languages.
That's exactly it.
So there should be love languages for communication. All right, don't y'all steal that. We're going to come up with it. But there should be love languages for communication. Like, what is your communication style, and how do you know the different ones, maybe 3 or 4 different styles? And then, because that's exactly what it is. You love them the way they want to be loved.
They want to be loved.
Communicate the way they want to communicate.
Not the way I want. And that's the key, because we think, and I understand it. I understand there's a thinking of, you're trying to love them. I want to be so good to them that I want to love them the way I want to be loved. And I understand that. I get that. But we got to get past that and realize that's not the best answer. It's an answer, but the best answer is I want to love them the way they want to be loved. I'm a touchy guy. They don't like to be touched. So am I going to go touch them? No, because they don't want to be loved that way. They want acts of service, or they want to spend time, whatever the case may be. And so that's what we got to focus on to make relationships. That's obviously I'm talking in a marital or spousal relationship, but that goes with any relationship, right? Really Friends and colleagues and anything is like you got to be able to speak to them the way they want to be spoken to in a way that will. I manage people and I work with each one of them differently. Right. Each person that I lead on my team, I talk with them differently. I give them different motivations. There's different things that they want to hear. And not that I just give them what they want to hear, but I can say the same thing to 3 people and I say it 3 different ways. But it's the same speech. It's the same thing. And so, in any relationship, we got to recognize what will work best with other people, right? Yeah. And the motivation can't be so I can get what I want, but it's they can be heard, so they can feel best, that we can grow together. So.
I take it one more step, and I did this with couples group when I would tell them about the whole boxes thing I just did. When we go through that, I would take it one more step, and I'd say, look, it's also not enough to just understand that their brains work the way they work and that we need to communicate the way we need to communicate. It's also imperative that we figure out a way to appreciate it.
That's good.
Because that's hard.
Yeah.
You can easily get annoyed by it.
Yeah.
Why do you got to be that way?
Why can't you think the way I think?
Yeah, why can't you just be the way I am? This is annoying as hell.
Yeah.
We have to figure out a way to appreciate it. So I'll give you one example. Jennifer is a button pusher, right? She's just go, 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 go.
You mean physically? Yeah.
Yeah. She just
hits. She likes to push your buttons.
Oh no, correct.
I want to clear that up because I know what you mean.
She's a go do it first, and then we talk about it later.
That's me. 1978.
That is a 1978 thing. Yeah. She's a go do it first, and then we talk about it later. And I'm like, and then I'll go, well, how'd you do that? Well, I have no idea how I did it. What do you mean? So I can't repeat the process because we have no idea how we got there. We just hit a bunch of buttons. Okay. At first, that was super annoying. Okay. And then it came in handy a couple of times. Right? And when it came in handy a couple of times, I over time, learned to appreciate it. I got to a place where I was like, oh, that could be useful. And so now it's cute. Now it's like, she's going to hit a button. Watch this. Boom, 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 boom. She got it. We got in a rental car. We couldn't figure out what to do in the rental car with the little dash. She hit like 3 buttons and we were there. How did we get there? Nobody knows. Nobody cared.
I'm with you. That'll give me anxiety.
Nobody cared.
Like, why we didn't stop.
Yeah. I was like, wait. And she was like, click, click, click. But here's the thing. In that instance,
it worked.
I didn't need to know how to get back there. It's a rental car. I'm never going to drive this car again.
Right.
Like it worked. It was for that moment, so I learned to appreciate it. So then, even that night, that was one of the first times that I was able to go, hey, will you push a couple buttons and get this AC working? She's like, yep, got it. How'd you get there? No idea. It's there. Like, now there are other times when it doesn't need to be worked, and unfortunately she doesn't recognize those times, so I have to recognize them for her and go, hey, this is not a button pusher time. And she'll go, okay. She'll like, well, she's cool about it. Yeah. She's cool about it, but you have to tell her. Like, she's not just gonna know. And so it's just the way we interact. And then to your point about the loving them the way they want to be loved, I'm a words of affirmation person, and that's like dead last on her list. So I'm always telling her how hot she is, and she just goes, like, she don't care. She don't care. Spend time with her. Now she cares. Right? So, for instance, I use this analogy all the time. I'm sitting there watching football, and she walks up and goes, hey, you want to go to the grocery store? And I'm thinking, my God, I'm watching football. What do you think I want to go to the grocery store? Like, but then I go, her love language is quality time. Pause. Thankfully, YouTube TV makes it possible. I hit pause, and I go, yeah, I do want to go to the grocery store. Put on my shoes, go to the grocery store. Now she feels loved. And now her tank is filled love-wise, and we've accomplished what we needed to accomplish.
Is that a trauma thing? Because Jen is the same way. She's not words of affirmation. She's quality time. Just spend time. We're just going to hang out.
it is okay.
I would say no. Only I don't know. You're more professional than I am. Erin's the same way.
Oh, is she okay?
She's not. Yeah.
So
Erin wants time and quality time. It can't just be us sitting beside each other watching a show. I mean, we do that, but if we were just sitting there and not communicating during it, then it's a problem. So yeah.
See, Jenna's type of just hang out. We watch TV. Don't matter what we're doing. We're just hanging out. Yeah, basically.
Jennifer's if you're in the same house.
Yeah, that's basically
we're
what it
good. Pretty much. And yeah, the same room's better, but we don't have to be doing anything. Mm-hmm. That's her thing. So she's a lot like Jen in that way. Okay, so here's what you'll find to answer your question. Females prefer a couple of course, the joke is females have all 5. Yeah, that's the joke. And we don't. But,
at the same time.
Yeah. But that's the running joke. But what you'll find is they're in different phases of life. So the quality time phase is when there's not a whole lot of kid things. Not a lot. So like you're still not a lot. You've got an infant. It is seeming like a lot, but it's not a lot. Like about he's kind of in a lot, but really about 4 years ago, they were in a phase where more than likely one of her top love languages was acts of service. When you have a busy life that involves children, that thing shifts to acts of service. Why? They need help. I got 3 loads of laundry going. I got this. I got to clean up after his mess. He's got to wipe his nose. Right? They get overwhelmed and they want somebody to help them with the stuff. When they're not in that mode, it typically ends up being a quality time, or even, and then if they're younger, so like a teenage female is going to be gifts. And they just, a lot of times that you see that they like to get each other gifts, but as they mature, it shifts. So that's another thing.
Ever evolving.
Yeah, I was about to say, love languages are movement. They're malleable. They change.
Yeah.
They don't stay. And in fact, because we do this every year. We go, all right, take the love languages quiz, and we'll see you next week. And every year we do a couples group, and it's like a 10-week group, and one of the weeks is we talk about love languages, and we have them take the quiz. And what happens is they'll go, well, we've taken no, everybody take the quiz, including me and Jennifer. So we take it once a year. We go, everybody take it, even if you took it last week, whatever, I don't care, take it. So then they all take it, and invariably at least one couple goes, oh my goodness, ours have changed, and we had no idea. Like, okay, now imagine what kind of fights that would have led to if you had not identified that. And it happens. They're like, man, why are we fighting right now? Well, let's talk about your love languages. Oh, that's why. I don't understand you. So now I'm better understanding you because now I know what your love language. Like that's the kind of things that we find ourselves in the middle of a lot of times in relationships. It's wild the way all that works and the way our brains work. I'm fascinated, obviously, by it, and I talk entirely too much.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm curious, do men's change a lot? I mean, we seem like we're pretty.
They really don't. We're pretty simple creatures. We are. It's usually. I'm gonna tell you what it is every time. It's words of affirmation or physical touch.
I'll say physical.
90% of the time.
I like the physical touch.
What kind of physical touch?
That good kind.
Yeah, the good kind.
That good kind. Yo.
That good kind.
That good kind has been blessed by God, yo.
I need you to touch me. Let's get it going.
I like it a lot.
I like it. I need to be touched, and I need you to tell me you like it when you touch me.
Hey, what you doing there? Come on, man, tell me why.
I'll tell you what. What do you say, Chadrick?
Hey, I said, get away from where you are and come to where I am and touch me a while.
I don't even know.
I think I slipped off and whistle.
I don't even know.
Here's what's funny about that. Most of the time, I have no idea what he said.
I never did.
And it's still funny. It's like, this is still good, y'all. That's so good. All right, well, let's move to our famous segment called Just the Tips.
Just the tips. We're giving you just the tips. Just the tips. We're giving you just the tips.
So our famous segment now, it's going to be famous pretty soon. Just the Tips is where we're going to fly around some pro tips from something that we probably are slightly above average at. I don't know if we're actually experts, professionally, officially, but we kind of are because we're kind of above average at certain things. So, what you got this week, big man?
I just want to talk about creatine.
Oh, yes.
It's one of the creatine is one of the most researched things on the market.
Why?
It just for some way it's been around for a long time, and then people want to know: is it steroids? Is it testosterone? Can it kill your kidneys? Can it make you lose hair? It's been studied. I don't know. I mean, that's the best answer I can come up with. That's a great answer. Great question. Though why? I don't know. Just maybe because it's been around a while, and you can only get so much of it through your food, and so you are recommended to get a supplement and take between 3 to 5 grams a day, and every day, no matter what. You just take 3 to 5 grams. You can get that through gummies. You can get it through powder. And it's one of the cheaper ones on the market because it's creatine monohydrate. You can get for $20. You can get 100 scoops for
I've got some at the house.
So it helps energy, I think first and foremost, but it helps build muscle. It helps, and through the energy, it helps build the muscle, and that's what it's historically been known as. Where it's going to help you in the gym. It's going to give you the energy to work out, and it's going to help build the muscle through the ATP and the creatine.
I was about to say it's
through the ATP, and that's how it goes through.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Yeah. It regenerates ATP when it replenishes or when it is used. But recently, it has been seeing more and more. There's been more and more studies come out as a cognitive function. So you're able to have better memory skills, better cognitive skills, the more creatine you take. I guess you can take up to like 10 grams. I've seen 8. I've seen on paper 8 is like the max. I always say 5. Just take 5. You can take 8 if you want. Take 10. You can take 20. I don't know.
There's a point of diminished returns. We just don't know exactly what that is.
Right. I don't. Yeah. I say between 3 to 5. You can take up to 8. I think on paper. But there's been studies. People have said it'll make you lose hair. There's nothing that says that. They'll say that it'll ruin your kidneys. There's nothing that says that. This is people that they've taken certain studies out of context and they've ran with it basically, and it's all incorrect. The newest thing, and we had talked about this before, and it gets into your world, is they did a study, and I have the number for it, the PMED number. But if you just Google or put in PubMed creatine depression, they did a study on that where they had, I think, I don't want to mess it up, but anyway, what they found out was giving one section of people creatine and one section a certain medicine for depression, that it was basically the same outcomes.
Whoa!
Like creatine was helped in depression. Now this is very, very beginning stages. This is not science yet. This is just, hey, we see this. We're gonna see what we can get more out of this.
What am I looking up? Creatine what?
Go to PubMed and look up creatine depression. I don't know. Type in should be like 886-067 339 something like that. 339-88067.
You memorize that. You were something else.
Something like that. 337-88067. I don't remember what it was. But they started noticing that it helps with depression, just pure creatine.
So there's 3 studies that I'm looking at right now. One in 2007. Women with major depression taking 5 grams of creatine daily with fluoxetine improved faster than with the fluoxetine alone. Young adults in 2012, they showed young adults with depression showed greater symptom reduction with creatine and another medicine with just the medicine alone. So what? I'm not going to try to say that. But basically, what they're showing is that it does help. Now, it's not the first line of defense kind of thing. Pair it with.
Where's the 2024?
Which you're talking about?
There's a 2024 one, I believe that I
can't. I'm trying to find the year on this one. Oh, this one's 2019. Would it be that one?
That might work. I mean, what's it say?
8-week double-blind randomized placebo-controlled trial in India testing 5 grams a day. Both groups improved, but the creatine plus CBT had a clinically significant additional 5.12 point greater reduction in the scores at 8 weeks. Researchers concluded that creatine was safe, well tolerated, and suggested it may boost antidepressant outcomes. Now, what they're going with, along with the other ones, is basically creatine alone is not necessarily an antidepressant, but can enhance other antidepressant medications.
Gotcha.
So,
Now, is that how you understood it?
Well, that's what I said. That's why I wanted to look into the study because that's why I wanted. I had the study in front of me and I had it all written out, but I left my iPad. I am unprepared. Yeah, I mean that's what it says.
I mean that's basically what we're summing up a very detailed piece, right? We're taking something that's probably takes hours of research to dig into, and I'm probably
here's part of an abstract. I'm going to read the whole because this is a big abstract. But right here it says creatine supplementation reduces depressive symptoms, particularly when combined with selective serotonin uptake or hyper. So when combined with SSRI, which
that's what we're talking about. It enhances it. It's not by itself.
That may improve brain energy metabolism, neuroplasticity. Okay, so it's
there's a depression scale they use, and the numbers were better for the people that same thing, but were better for the people that took creatine.
Yeah,
compared to the people that did not take creatine. So that was the difference.
Okay. So adding it, but here's where my question is, and this is where I'd really like to know the answers, is whether we're talking about creatine instead of an SSRI or creatine along with an SSRI.
Sounds like it's along with.
According to that, it is, but that ain't the only study out there. So
but it's also in its neonate stage. Like,
sure,
I don't think it's science yet.
Well, it's like
I'm not going to tell people to do it.
So
and nobody should.
Right. So it's like what did I just see that's still kind of in the stages too? Nitric oxide. So it's a chemical that what it does is it goes and it I'm trying to think of what it does. Okay, so it works through the veins in your body where it basically conditions the veins and it opens them up. So it creates blood flow. Okay, as you age, you begin losing that. You begin losing nitric oxide. So if you supplement it with nitric oxide, it does all the things it's supposed to do. It starts to open the veins back up. What they found, for instance, is that Alzheimer's is a vascular disease. It's lack of blood flow. So they found that it begins reducing symptoms, and they even think they're going to find a way that it reverses it. If they do that, that's going to completely revolutionize medicine.
Yeah.
If they figure out a way to reverse Alzheimer's, but they found that at the very least they've seen so far in all the trials they've done, they've seen that it reduces it. But again, this is at the early stages, and it's not proven whatever now. But you can get it. They've packaged it. There's some people that have packaged it, but it's like, hey, take it at your own risk kind of thing. We haven't really ran this through enough trials yet, but we are starting to, and we're seeing some really, really positive outcomes. With just using that right there. Maybe creatine, we've talked about this, saffron. You take saffron the spice, which by the way you can get in gummy form at Walmart. Not kidding. Saffron, because saffron the spice itself is like super expensive, but you can get it like broken down into like gummy forms. Anyway, saffron. Throw in walking 3 days a week, and what else is there? Consume protein first 30 minutes after getting up, and circadian rhythm. Get into a circadian rhythm. They've taken that and matched it up against SSRIs, and it was head to head.
Yeah. Head
to head, like moment for moment. People had the exact same reports on just doing that as they did on SSRIs. The difference is that SSRIs are rewiring the brain to depend on it, whereas the other stuff's not. The other big difference, I actually did see some research on this particular thing, was that when the SSRIs would basically minimize range of emotion. So you weren't really happy or really sad. It minimized your range of emotion, whereas doing the other thing gave you the same increase in cognitive health that you needed or mental health that you needed, but without minimizing the range of emotion.
Yeah.
So it didn't suppress the emotion. You got to still feel, as much as you needed to feel. So that was a pretty wild thing anyway. So I did totally just cut in on your pro tip, but that's fascinating.
That's pretty much it. And then there's no real downside to taking creatine.
That was going to be my next question.
No,
there's zero negative
effects. So, and that's why I said people try to say kidney and they try to say lose your hair. I've been taking creatine since I was 16.
Let me ask one more question about that.
You ain't losing any.
My hair's right here.
Yeah, you got long hair.
Kenny's working great.
Here's my question about that. If you were somebody that wanted to get some of the benefits you were talking about, but didn't want to bulk up, I don't want to be Joey Swole or whatever.
You're not going to.
You're not going to bulk up.
Okay, you ain't in no fear of bulking up.
No, bulking up is.
I'm not talking about you
So
specifically.
creatine's not.
Creatine will help with it, but it's more of the energy that you put into it. So you're putting more effort into your workouts, and so it creates more muscle. But bulking in itself is diet. That's just what you're eating is going to bulk you up. If you're eating enough protein, if you're eating enough calories, if you're eating that's mainly diet. What they found out in a recent study, but more of a meta-analysis is that, people have said for years, you do 1 to 4 if you're trying to gain strength, you do 6 to 8 or 10 when you're trying to go for muscle building, and then you go 12 to 18 if you're trying, I don't know what the number is, if you're trying to for endurance. Huh?
Sorry, I was saying it really don't matter because I know where you're going.
Yeah, but what they found out is it doesn't matter at all. Whatever you do, it's the same as long as you're working out like you're supposed to be working out. It doesn't matter what number you're hitting. There are some that say fatigue comes into play. So if you're the lower end, if you want to really build strength, then you will be in the lower end. Rest periods come into contact with anyway. But you're not going to really bulk. You may gain a few pounds, but you're not going to bulk by any stretch.
And then what's the best time of day to add that?
I think it's anytime.
Anytime between 12 noon and 12 midnight.
Yes. Anytime.
I'm sorry, not 12 midnight, but 12 noon. Between 12:01 or 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. Anytime between there, you're good.
All right. It's wide open.
Yeah, so it's just like protein.
Only on days that end in Y.
Protein's sort of the same way. People always thought you have this, I forget what they call it.
The post-workout.
There's like anabolic window. Yeah. If you like, you have to, when you work out, you got to take protein or you're going to lose all the gains that you made.
I actually have heard that.
Not true.
Yeah.
Wow.
It depends. Like if you've gone 4 hours without eating protein and then you worked out, yeah, you should probably have something. Also, though, there are more. I'm gonna keep going here. There's been studies come out to where they've put together a group of people who have taken 100 grams of protein at one time, and then given people 100 grams of protein throughout, and there are actually more gains and more strength shown to the people who actually took 100 grams in one single meal. Huh. So even spreading it out throughout the day doesn't even matter. As long as you get your protein throughout the day, doesn't matter when you got it, how you got it, just as long as you got it.
The numbers.
Same thing with creatine. Just take it. It doesn't matter when you take it.
Wow. Okay. All right. What do you got, Papa?
Yeah, it don't matter how much you work out. Sometimes even no one will get bulky. I mean, even if you don't have the right genetics, you ain't gonna get bulky. Like I always find it funny, women especially. Men can somewhat, but women always complain about it. I'm gonna get bulky. No, you're not.
That's another thing. If you're a woman, you can also take it. In fact, I suggest everyone take it. You will not bulk up. You will not gain fat. You will not any of that.
You will build your booty.
I mean, if you're working out, if you're just sitting down eating pasta and taking creatine, then you're going to get fat because you're not doing anything. That's nothing to do with the creatine. So if you're, take the creatine. Booty. It'll build your booty, but you got to work your booty.
You got to work it. It's just like the GLP-1s. Don't take a GLP-1 and then sit and eat burgers. Like that doesn't, like it's supposed to suppress but you're supposed to have appetite. But then you got to turn around. You still got to do the work. You still got to work out. You got to exercise. You got to walk.
That's steroids. You still got to do the work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So I think women get afraid about creatine because they're afraid they're going to gain a lot of weight, and they may get a few pounds, but then they freak out because like, oh, I gained 4 pounds. And it's like it's good pounds. Like it's good. It's muscle.
Yeah.
Like quit worrying, but they can't, right? So
it's not the scale.
But yeah, if you're a woman, don't worry, you will not get bulky. I promise. There are men that worked out for 10 years, they aren't bulky, trying their best, can't be bulky. So you're good. So. No, I was just.
That's what you got.
No, I was just piggyback on that. I want to have just a little fun bit. Because AI always learns, right? And so there was a time where some guys asked AI, but the joke was AI is like that friend that always knows everything but won't admit when they don't. I interview people, technical interviews. I don't know. I don't know is a great answer. When they say I don't know, I'm like, hey, that's a great answer because I don't expect you to know everything. And sometimes we ask questions just to get an I don't know. AI doesn't like to say I don't know. And so these guys asked the question of something to the effect of, if you have what is the phrase that says 2 frogs in the woods is better than 3 frogs in the forest? They made something completely random up, and the thing was like, oh, well, that means this and this. And he's like, yeah, it's okay to say, I don't know, I've never heard that. So later on, I did the same phrase, just for fun, just myself. And then it was like, that's not really an idiom that anyone says or knows. It may mean this based on, and it tried to break it down based on some phrasings, but then it finished with, but no one really says that. And I thought, okay, that's cool. So I can take that, but it's, just as much as I don't know, right? Like that's kind of like, well, you just made that up, right? But here's what if you were going to try to use it as a phrase, here's what it could mean. I thought that was kind of interesting that AI had learned between the 2 times when they did it, and it said, oh, I'm making something up right now, to you're making this up, right?
And it may have learned from you too, because when you're logged in, if you're logged in, it's reading you.
Oh, absolutely.
Like it's learning you, and because now I'm logged into one primary ChatGPT channel, and I get in there and it'll go, well, if you're referring to, and it'll bring up something I talked about 3 days ago. Yeah. And I'm like, dang, bro.
Yeah, I did a phrase, and I'm not going to read mine out because it's long, but I basically did this, and this is back on that. Based on everything you know about me, create a brutally honest profile of who I am, my strengths, weaknesses, tendencies, and blind spots. Don't sugarcoat anything. Highlight where I excel, where I waste time, and what's holding me back from bigger success. If I have any predictable patterns, good or bad, call them out. Give me actionable advice to improve, even if it's hard to hear. And it took the conversations that we've had and different things I've done, which I didn't do a lot at that point, and it broke it down, right? It gave me a list of strengths.
Was it accurate?
Absolutely.
That's scary.
The strengths were there. Talked about my consistency because I work out. I didn't think I even told it that I worked out 4 or 5 days a week. It's like 4 or 5 days a week at 46 shows not just strength, but consistency. You prioritize health, all this tech savvy. That's my world. I work in tech. Heightened self-awareness. The fact that you asked me to be brutally honest, it called that out. It's like, man, that's cool. Like, you wanting truth. You wanting growth and change. Talked about weaknesses, risk aversion. Yeah, dude, I don't take risks. That's and I've called myself out for years on that. And the fact that it said that, I didn't say, hey, I don't want to take a risk. Wow. Tendencies, the tendencies are spot on. Blind spots, so it was fascinating to hit that and see what it says and be spot on. And I hadn't used it very much at that time. I've used
that's
it
the
more.
part that's scary.
I'm almost kind of afraid to use it again now because now it knows more.
That would be fun. So. Yeah. I'm gonna have to try that.
And I'll finish with this fun little bit. I just did this a little while ago just for fun. I said, if I run off a cliff, can I stay in the air so long as I don't look down? Old Looney Tunes. And it said, only if you're a cartoon.
Oh, we knew it.
In the real world, gravity doesn't care where you're looking. The moment you step off that cliff, you're headed down, whether or not you acknowledge it. Wile E. Coyote logic might be fun, but physics always wins. So unless you're packing a wingsuit or paraglider, look down or not, you're falling.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, that's good. All right, so I'll have a very short one, oddly enough, for as talkative as I am. I actually didn't know if I had a pro tip for this evening, and then on the way here I heard this in a podcast I was listening to by a guy. By the way, I love this dude. His name's Richard Reeves, and he has set his life mission to improve the lives of men and boys. And in fact, his book is called Of Men and Boys, and he is the head of the AIBM.org, and I believe it stands for American Institute for Boys and Men. And this dude's fascinating. But anyway, he said, I heard him talking about, he was on Theo Vaughn of all things, and Theo was all into this kind of conversation. Theo's becoming Rogan, man. He's becoming like broadening his scope. He's not just talking to comedians all the time. Anyway, he said that researchers show that dads who are not in the home but have a consistent, regular relationship with their child, the child is better off with that dad than he is with the dad that's in the home that's checked out. Research.
Interesting.
That was interesting. I thought, wait. And his point was that it's all about the relationship. All about the relationship. Ruben McIntyre had a song, said the greatest man I never knew lived just down the hall. And that's what he was referring to. So the dad can live in the home, but if he's not present, right, either not there because he works too much, or when he's there he just wants to be checked out. He doesn't want to spend time with his kids. He doesn't. That's all the time. That child is worse off in that home than he is if the dad doesn't live in that home. So in other words, let's say it's a 50-50 or it's an every other weekend or whatever it is because they're divorced. He's actually better off if the dad will spend the relationship even if he's not, like if the dad's not in the home. So that just, that stopped me. I was like, wait. Because I've known about, like, here's one. I'll give you one more. Okay, I said I won't talk much. I'll give you one more. This one I already read before, and it was kind of in this vein, but it wasn't the same. I may have actually already said this in a podcast, so if I have, I'm sorry, I forgot because I have no brain. But when a child grows up in a home with low conflict, two biological parent, low conflict home, okay? Two biological parent, low conflict home, that child's chances of entering the juvenile justice system decreases by a certain amount. I don't know what that amount is, and I think it's relative to sociological, SES, socioeconomic status, and stuff like that. It has all kinds of factors. But let's just say that it lowers by a certain amount. The percentage lowers that they're going to enter the juvenile justice system because they grew up in a two biological parent, low conflict home. Okay. If a child grows up in a home with only the father, their chances of entering the juvenile justice system go down by the exact same amount.
Yeah.
Research. Okay? Now, flip that and say only the mother. Their chances go up over 80% chance increase in likelihood of entering the juvenile justice system. Now, that's not anything against moms. It's just for dads. It's showing that there is a definite need in a relationship with either a father or a father style figure. It's vital. Like we're beyond the mom can do everything, we're good. We're beyond that. Like research is proving that that's not the case over and over and over again. So that's all I got. All right. New segment. Well, it's not a new segment.
Story time.
It is story time. And I don't know about y'all, but I didn't really come with a story. But I know we have to tell a story.
I didn't either.
You ain't got one?
I bet Nate Dogg has one.
But you got one.
Nate, you got one? All right, hang on.
Get out here, Nate.
All right. Give us a second for a shift change.
Oh, man. You got to love family.
Look at it.
Family time.
Family time.
Family time.
What are you wearing yourself on your shirt?
Man.
Wear yourself on your shirt.
I like to take pictures of myself and put them on my shirt. Man, my all-time favorite go-to family story. And I'm telling you this now because this is funny. Man, my little big brother, J.D. Hall, got in a new game for, I can't remember if it was Christmas or his birthday.
Oh, man.
He knows what it is.
Man, there's a game called Survivor.
Cold-blooded.
And he was begging.
Grandma got me this game, by the way. Thank you, Grandma.
We got to play this game. Somebody please play this game with me. Please play this game. None of us wanted to play. Well, finally, we decided. Me, my mother, and David Matike decided, all right, yeah. Let's play. We got this. So we sit down and play one round. And we decide to, when it comes time to vote somebody off the island. So, myself, David Matike, and my mama all look at each other, and we say, hey, we vote J.D. Hall off. And then we said, game over.
They quit. They played the game long enough to vote Jonathan off, who begged them to
How
play.
dare you, first of all.
Quit.
And then you quit. Said, all right, we're done.
Jonathan ain't played that game ever since.
Nope, I sure hadn't. My mom, did you say that? My mom was part of that.
Oh, yes.
Me,
She was a ringleader.
She was the one that was like, hey, look, this is what we're going to do.
me, you, mom, and David Matike.
You can't, if you don't have thick skin in this family, you ain't growing up in this family. It's just, you ain't surviving.
If
Like,
my
that's
mom
just the way
recalls
it is.
me, you packed up that game and went and put it in the trash can.
I may have. I don't know. I know.
That's gonna be. I don't want to play this.
I never play that game again. I know that. That's a good story. I forgot about that one.
That's a good one. We talked about that the other day, and we're like, yeah, we're telling that
That's
story.
a good one.
Hey, it's a Granger thing.
It's a Granger thing. That should be our tagline going forward. I love it.
Yep.
That's one of my all-time favorite stories right there.
Is that it?
I just hate that I wasn't there.
Because you'd have been part of it.
I would have absolutely been part of it.
I can't believe that.
My
How old
only,
was I? 14? 13, 14?
Yeah, my only issue would have been that I didn't come up with that. I would have been mad. Like, how did I not come up with that game plan? Because you know that was Will Cian.
Matike, I remember Matike was like, I feel so bad. Like he was like,
He didn't want to do
you
it.
could tell he did not want to do it. He
didn't
was
wanna do
like, and he did it anyway. Because he just wanted, and then mom was the one I think was like, all right, we're done. Dang, mom.
Just get
This is
John-
my mother. Speaking of, you sure? You sure about that, Jason? You sure about that, Jason? Mom, I think mom would have whipped us into shape.
Yeah, we'll get her in here on this at some point.
Yeah, she'll be fun.
She'll talk about that too.
Yeah, that's a good story.
Get her to tell the story. All right, then. Well, I guess that's it. Y'all be good. Wash your booties. Stay healthy, GP.
I love it. Wash your booties.